Welcome back everyone. Today I'm going to do a range test and a real world one. So we're going to go for a ride for around 40 k's and then over different terrain, and I'm going to show you just how much battery I actually use and how much I have left. Now when I purchased this bike 2 years ago, the battery in it was a 625 watt hour battery, and it was probably the standard battery of that time. The standard battery now is 750, that's the lowest range, and you can still buy 625s, but most bikes are around the 720 right up to 1000. So I think this will be a really good test to prove to you that if you buy a high quality bike with a good battery, you'll have plenty of range, and I've said it before, it will outlast you. So I think what we'll do now is we'll head off on a bit of a ride. So here we go for this ride. So I've been coming through the suburbs, and just about to enter one of the major roads, Yarramusa Road actually. Going to head over to Murdoch, and we'll probably go up in there's some land over there. I'm not sure whether it's privately owned or public, but it's been somewhere I've been riding for well over 20 years, and there's some really interesting rugged areas there, so that'll give you a good idea about the range. So on the way over there, you know, slight inclinations up and down, mostly flat road. When you're riding along like this, and like in this case I'm hitting a bit of a headwind, you change your gears. If you're feeling a bit hard, if it's feeling hard to actually pedal. So now I can even go down to a lower gear, and what's happened now, for me to maintain the same forward motion at the speed, I'm now pedaling faster. But if I now drop back down a gear, or up a gear, depends on how you look at these things, but for the sake of the argument, say if I drop down to a smaller cog, that means I don't have to pedal as fast, but I have to put more actual force in there. Just a matter of interest, I just dropped down to the bigger cog because we're going down quite a steep, not steep, because we're going downhill now with a small incline. We're going to hit a dip, and then we'll start to go up towards a bridge. And as you'll notice, I will have to change my gear again. There we go, I've just changed my gear. So I've now gone to a bigger cog. There we go, bigger. Now, means that I don't need as much force in the pedal, but I need to pedal a little bit faster, or because it's an electric bike, we drop below 25 and I get a bit of assistance. If you look over, you'll see the traffic over there down the freeway. Big truck passing me. Okay, so we got through that gnarly bit, and I'm now heading over to a section of this wilderness that I have a feeling a number of kids and probably their parents have built a mountain bike sort of a trail through the hills up here. Discovered it some years ago, and at the top end is extremely steep. And that's what I'm going to try and show you. And so, as I said, part of this ride, I want to, ride on the flat roads in the wilderness. And I just wanted to show you some of the, and also some of the really grunt work that a mountain bike like this can do. And show you just how much energy you can actually have in the tank when you're finished. So that's the trail. Doesn't look too bad at this end. This section of the this rack is fairly tame, although it's got some pretty narrow section with a few drops. Oops! And as you can see, I almost mucked that one up. As you can see, someone's placed these mounds here. This is a steep one. Just to show you how nuggety this area is, this section I'm going to have to walk the bike through. Actually, this is a good opportunity for me to explain something about e-bikes, especially mountain bikes. There's a function, so you've got a really steep section like this, and listen, it can be heavy. There's different buttons, different areas, but on this bike, if I push the walk button and then I push the plus button, it actually energizes the motor to go very slowly, which means I can just self-propel it up the hill. And then if you let go, it stops. It's a great function. I hope this section gives you an idea how steep it is. Ooh. Holy crap, that was steep. Used up quite a bit of energy there. Now, we're about to come into a residential area out of this park. and there'll be some very steep hills here as well, and then we'll get back out onto the bitumen. Lowest gear possible. So I'm back. Had to have a rest when I got home. That was a hell of a ride, even though we didn't do the 40 k's that I intended. And the reason was that the temperature, even though it's not really hot, it was only about 25 degrees. The humidity got up to about 75%, and it killed me. So I cut this short. So what did we do? Let's have a look. So we did 32 k's. There we go. And as you could see, we did lots of road riding, you know, out on the bitumen, around the suburbs, and then there was that very heavy duty riding up in the hill country, and then coming home along bike paths and back through suburbia. And what I'm looking at, we lost one bar, and according to this, I still have 43 kilometres left. Now, that 43 kilometres could actually go up, excuse me, or go down, depending. So, for instance, if I was to do a lot more riding around the suburbs or down main roads, and I kept the speed above 25 k's an hour, then that would drag out the time, and eventually you would find the commuter would say, well, you've got more kilometres. Conversely, if I did a lot of hill climbing and gear changing and so forth, that could drop down a bit. The point of this exercise was to give you a real world indication of what it's like to ride an e-bike with a 625 watt hour battery. And I think what I've just explained speaks for itself. Yes, I didn't do the 40 k's I wanted to do, but that was a decision that I wanted to do. Look, the reality is I could easily do, I reckon with the riding I did today, I could have got about 60 k's out of it without a problem. And I still would have had more in the tank from the battery point of view. So I hope this answers some questions for you. And until next time, thank you for watching.